Hi guys! So this is going to be a collective reading. I am using the Sacred Web Tarot as well as the Thoth Tarot today and the messages. Alright. So what does the collective... Oh, didn't ask my question. It was the Four of Pentacles though. What does the collective who is watching need to know right now for their highest timeline? What does the collective who's watching need to know right now for their highest timeline? One more. All right, so we have the 10 of Fire. Clarifying the Four of Wands. Aries just got this card. Holding a peak, the peak fire of something. Holding a lot of wands, something very, very passionate and creative. Can even feel like stuck creative energy, something needing to get out, a lot going on, something needing to be burst even. Okay. So what does the collective who is watching need to know right now for their highest timeline? What does the collective who is watching need to know right now for their highest timeline? One more. All right. So we have the Fool card. Clarifying the Death card. All right. Something transforming in a big way here. We're about to be transformed. Something, or leaps of faith happening because something is moving on. A cycle is changing. Something's changing here in a big way. All right. So what does the collective who's watching need to know right now for their highest timeline? Okay. Witness. Atrophied. I have intimacy issues. Oh, sitting right underneath the 10 of Fire. Passion. Something maybe feeling stuck. Okay. Write out a plan. Okay. Goddess work. This can be embodiment work. Lilith. If you're having intimacy issues, Lilith, Isis, Mary Magdalene. We'll get more into that and see. Thoth. Oh, maybe Thoth. That means something important to me in regards to intimacy, the Thoth energy. We'll see what that's about. All right. Okay, and then solar plexus healing. Okay, one more. Libra sun. All right. I'm actually going to put that there. It feels like it wants to kind of be like this. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So let's see what this is about. 10 of fire. And I was talking about it feeling like, can feel like there's like trapped energy, trapped passion, trapped intimacy. Saturn and Sagittarius. Limitations on travel. Even travel being limited or something being here. This could even mean like maybe long distance relationships. That can feel like intimacy issues, like not being able to be there physically with someone, like especially when you have a lot of passion and love. I've actually been doing a lot of work with that. Yeah, we'll see if that comes through. I feel like it's going to. Just don't want to. We're going to keep it moving, keep it going. All right. And that is clarifying the Four of Wands. This is Venus energy. This is passion. This is sensuality, fiery sensuality. A lot of this like passionate fire right here. Yeah. This came through in a big way for Aries. Very much about ancestry and knowing their Ace of Wands. If that's important, we'll bring that through. But this could just like even represent just like celebrations, wedding, a union, like the recognition of it. Okay. And then we have the Fool card. Leaps of faith. Actually, this card has come through for me in a big way. And it came through with another card. I forgot which card it was. A while back, but basically symbolizing two people coming together right here. Two energies coming together, uniting at the top of the pyramid. This like Hierophant energy, a culmination, reaching a peak. We'll see what it might mean for you. Actually, now I remember what it is for me, but that's good enough. Like we'll keep going through it. Okay. And that's clarifying the Death card. Transformation. Do you even say like the seeds that drop from like even like a dying tree, knowing that something new is going to be created? I think this is technically an acorn, right? Regeneration. Nothing is truly dead. It's just regenerated. Even like within relationships, even like letting go of like past partners, knowing that you've learned a lot because of like stuff that you didn't want. And also knowing that not everything bad or not everything that you experienced with someone is bad. They've also taught you maybe how you like to be loved or something deeper about yourself that you carry on to another relationship, like whatever this has to do with. Yeah. Kirsten Cohen is sitting right underneath this Death card. I don't think I read that out, did I? I don't remember reading that out. I'm just shocked I just saw that right below this card. Yeah, Kirsten Cohen is one of my favorite TV moms. Okay, well, let's start back over here. Okay, so we have witness. Hold on. So witness, being a witness to something. I actually just created a playlist. It's a private playlist, but I just created it. It's called To Be a Witness, and it's like basically witnessing people going through harsh experiences, or even like communities going through like very intense things happening. Things even happening on like a mass scale, like not turning a blind eye to something, being a witness. Excuse me, guys. My nose is running. To witness something. This is also something that's connected to my relationship energy, like partnership. Witnessing another, witnessing their story. Understanding the whole of someone. To be a witness. You know, that also reminds me of something that happened about like 4-ish, 5-ish years ago. I was into human design, and it's very much like something like it's a beautiful thing to study if you've never studied it before. I'm not really into that anymore, but I very much have a lot of the knowledge still, and it's helped me in my own life in many different ways. But my gate, my sun, my design, my sun, is the 13th gate, which is also the witness. To be a witness. And it just felt like such an important archetype in my life. And so I put a lot of focus on that, being a witness, being the witness. Being a witness to people's stories. What does it mean to be a witness archetypally? I feel like even just witnessing people going through harsh stuff is symbolically being imprinted by it. You can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. You can't unfeel it. And that's even just like witnessing someone going like through something that's like stolen their innocence, or someone out of their life, like atrocity. And I just feel like that kind of stuff just shapes you. It just shows you what you don't want to happen, what you don't want to put onto other people. I just feel like it naturally is like alchemizing who you are. And yeah, so to be a witness. Underneath this card, witnessing like a marriage, witnessing a union, witnessing your ancestors that came through for Aries, like just showing up. Even celebrating. Because we have atrophied. Both witness and atrophied underneath this card. Showing up for someone's atrophies. So this could be very much a physical thing for you. Literally I just finished recording the Gemini reading, and they had multiple sclerosis come through in their reading, MS. And I was talking about my dad. He has a primary MS. And so this could be like something actually like physical. like a disease, some kind of issue, like a physical health issue, mental health issue, emotional health issue, like whatever this is. But a big way that I've used it in my own life is like being atrophied, being emotionally stuck in certain ways, like stunted, even like growing up, like traumas, like those early traumas that you experience that like reshape your mind, that tell you that you can't be like a certain way in order to like even fit in within like a family or a school situation, an environment. Those are naturally things that are atrophying natural parts of who you are. And it's like reclaiming those things. It's like pumping blood back through those spaces within you. And that can be a very, very uncomfortable thing, like a pipe having been clogged for like 20, 30 years of your life. And pumping blood right back through it, unnumbing it, pushing through those atrophies, purposely stepping into them, purposely showing up, even though it's like most likely you might fail at this emotionally, mentally, but stepping into those awkward situations, into those really uncomfortable situations, because you know it's going to help you. It's going to push you forward. You're gonna stumble. You might like fall flat on your face, but you showed up. You chose to show up. You chose to push through. You chose to step into that, to be courageous. To unnumb something. Witness atrophy. Witness atrophies. It's technically atrophied. So something that's been atrophied, even witnessing someone's atrophied parts of the self, the places where they've been stunted, like emotionally, mentally, physically, creatively, like however that is, spiritually. And maybe just like having a deeper understanding, like something happened to create this. There were levels that happened, even repression, like deep levels of repression, that's atrophied. That's like, to me, atrophies within the mind, within the emotions. That's like literally starting to like cut off parts of yourself, your life, numbing out. Either witnessing this within yourself or within someone else, a partner, friends, family. Yeah, because then I have intimacy issues under this 10 of fire. It just feels like, if this is like within a partnership, that just feels like it feels like a lot needing to be expressed. And it really, like, it just reminds me of like there's this I forgot what their names are, but it's these two crocodiles, or alligators. But there's this guy, he owns these two different crocodiles, and they're within like the same kind of building, but they're just separated by like a grate. And I believe they were separated for like 4 years, so they could see each other, but they couldn't interact. And one was female and one was male. And you could clearly see that they wanted to be together, that they wanted to be in the same enclosure. Like there was a lot of like intensity going on. And it just reminds me of like having that like full energy. If you even think of like the male, like you could even think like they've been courting each other for 4 years, and they haven't been able to do their animal thing, you know? That's that energy. Very much. Like, I have intimacy issues. Like, there's like even feeling like separated in some way, or even like some parts of like emotional stunting or mental stunting, physical stunting, like whatever this is, has separated you in some way or held you back in some way. Or at some point in your life, like whatever this is about. But having that inside of you, expression, maybe learning how to get it out in new ways, even with art, music, poetry, relieving that. Like, um, like if you need something, like even just write it out, like just like primally write it out. I've had to do that in my own life. Like, just it felt so like I had a bunch of energy just like really pent up in me, and I just had to like write it out, and it came out in a super like primal, like animalistic way, but it got it out of my body. And that could be that energy or something like it. Like maybe just like transforming it in some way. Because we have Saturn here. So Saturn can literally feel like limitations, but it can also be blessings. If you take the steps, if you're working on it, Saturn rewards you. That energy is naturally rewarding when you put in the hard work for it. Yeah. Okay, so then we have write out a plan. Write out a plan. So maybe just literally this could just mean like writing it out like I was just talking about. Making a plan of how this energy can converge. If this is literally just like two people at a distance, depending on your situation, maybe like communicate and figure out a way that you're going to meet, like either coming to one another's like hometown or city, meeting somewhere, travel, if that's your situation. This could even just be witnessing just like someone. Witnessing their atrophies, witnessing where they have intimacy issues because of other things. Maybe even writing out a plan to help them or help you, like whatever this is to do with. Maybe getting deeper into like what's going on. Maybe helping them create art, helping them write out their stuff, like however this is coming through for you. All right, then we have goddess work under the Fool card. Goddess work, embodiment work. I used to do a lot of goddess embodiment work and God embodiment work years ago. With the Fool card, maybe just trying something new. If you haven't done that before, look into rewilding for women. That was like just such an important thing for my life back in my late 20s and my early 30s. I was obsessed with rewilding for women and all the goddess work, the embodiment work around Kali, Lilith, Mary Magdalene, also the gods, you know, just like the dark feminine, the dark masculine, like whatever is needed here. You have the Scorpio energy, death. right here. This clarifying that. But goddess work, jumping into something new, embodying something new. Maybe even something that you've never embodied before. No, maybe a new medicine, a new something new. Toth is right next to it. So I've never done embodiment work with Toth, but Toth has shown up for me in a huge way in regards to relationships. There's a whole thing. I'm not quite sure if I need to tell the whole thing, or if that's something else. Leap of faith. Be a fool. Okay. So Toth has come through for me. Okay, so let's like say it like this. So Mott. How do I need to tell this story? You know what? Let's go through it first and then let's tell the story, because it feels like there's like some pieces that are stuck right now. So let me first kind of go through this. So Toth, he is the record keeper. He's the one that takes he's a writer. He takes down the information. He records events. He records the truth. He records the evidence. Like when someone's getting their heart weighed, he's the one recording what's happening. Which door did they go through? Did they go through the door with Babi? What door did they go through? Or did they ascend? Like their heart. So, okay, let's just keep it light for right now. So, record keeper, evidence, something being recorded. Let's keep it like that for right now. Okay, but that's sitting between the Fool card and the Death card. A leap of faith is going to transform something radically because of Toth energy. This Toth energy. This is the Toth tarot on this side. Something said, something spoken, some kind of evidence. The record is clear. Come on, baby. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going. All right, so then we have Kirsten Cohen. Kirsten Cohen. So she's from the OC. She's the mom, the primary mom of the OC. What is needed here? Kirsten Cohen. So she's the mother. She came through in another reading about a month ago when we were talking about drug addiction. We were talking about different kinds of addictions, yeah. And I was talking about her she was an alcoholic and she needed to go to rehab, but all of her family showed up for her. It was right after her father had passed away, I believed, when it just got a little out of control, and then it just became an everyday thing, and, you know, she needed help. We have that sitting right here under the Death card. Just wondering, maybe that has something to do with your story, maybe not. But she was the OC mom. She was also the a surrogate mother for Ryan, which he's the what? Sorry, guys. He's the one that the show pretty much like centered around, like him, his background, and then coming into this like different life. And she was a mother. She didn't want him at first. Sandy Cohen brought him home, but she wasn't certain if she just didn't know if it was going to work out. Anyways, yeah, we'll see what this is about, because that's really yeah. Okay, so then we have solar plexus healing. Sitting underneath this tin of fire, which is sitting directly underneath, the solar plexus healing is sitting directly underneath the I have intimacy issues and write out a plan. About solar plexus healing, identity, your identity, your light. Because we have Libra Sun here, which is solar energy as well. And you could even say that this is solar energy right here. And I'm kind of being drawn to this energy, kind of being a solar energy. Solar plexus healing. So I have intimacy issues. Is going to help you with your solar plexus in some way here. Yeah, because that normally is like what I would say sacral energy, pent up sacral energy, like that energy. Being clear on who you are. Maybe even like we were talking about at the beginning, understanding your atrophies, like what created maybe issues that are going on, who you are today. I mean, they're next door to each other, the solar plexus and the sacral. So they are deeply connected. Going up. Going up. Going up. Shooting up. This card is different than other 10 of Wands cards. It's actually the 8 Wands in the background with the 2 in the center. So the 8 of Wands can be quick movement, even quick travel. We were talking about travel feeling limited, but maybe because you found a new plan, the 2 of Wands, manifesting something different. That's what the 2 of Wands is about, setting a new vision. Maybe something, you just need a new vision for something, a new answer, a new outlet, a new focus. Write out a plan. There's a new plan that can be created here that's going to help with this energy. Pop it. Get it going and flowing like an atrophy, pumping blood through something. It's almost like something like being bubbled up right here. And you have like, you could even say like a vein, an atrophied vein, but there's all this like blood wanting to pump through it. It's like stuck there. It's needing to get through. It's wanting to get through. An atrophy. Witnessing someone's atrophy. Understanding. Or if this is within you, Understand, maybe even sensuality being helpful. This, because this feels more like the Mars, maybe even like more sexual energy. But you have witnessing an atrophy with the Venus energy here, which can be more sensual, more like more softer, even more feminine. Is going to naturally like pull it through, open up the atrophy. If you think about it, if you're like trying to pump like this whole thing through something that's like this, it's going to go over it or bubble around it. When you go slower, it's going to slightly widen and everything's going to start to be able to pump through. Sensuality, like rubbing butter on a ring to pull it off. I have the visual in my head. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it accurately. Yeah, just like it feels like sensual energy, more emotional energy. This is still fire. Aries and Venus and Aries, still very much fire, just in a new form. More sensual with the fire instead of like maybe more primal. Yeah, because that can even like feel overwhelming for someone. That can actually like make someone freeze. When you come in hot and heavy and like something is almost expected, it can actually, so that's something that I've actually gone through in my life. Like feeling like I needed to perform is actually what would create like a more like numbed out feeling and would immediately turn off like any kind of pleasure within myself. Maybe like making sure, partner, or whatever this is, know that that's not what it's about. Like maybe there's like this passionate love here, or passionate, whatever this is. Because Thoth is sitting here, this feels very passionate. This feels like a partnership. I'm going to go ahead and just like kind of like make assumptions right here. If this is not your video, you know, but it just feels very much about partnership. Every level right here feels like something to do with partnership. So, yeah. Okay, so like even making sure, like showing up for a partner and making sure that they're like just sensual activities, touch, massage, kissing, holding hands, doing these like more or even just showing up and say like we don't have to have sex tonight. Like we can just like cuddle. We can like I can rub your back. I can just show up for you. We can talk, you know, we can sit under the stars. Like we can do something. You know, I see you. I see maybe like these triggers within you, these atrophies. I see that you love me, you know. I can also see how something might be bubbling because of an atrophy, because there's not like the proper flow. And it could have everything to do with like trauma or stuff that's happened in the past, where they go numb, where they freeze, where they feel like they have to like run. And making sure that you're a safe space, like that you see like something atrophied. You can see where they freeze, where they feel like they have to flee. And maybe just being that safe space for them, like saying like we don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, you know. And maybe understanding that they very much have this going on, like very much like I want to do this. But I also like, you know, working through something as well and being that safe space, helping them work through it, being that force with them. Both of your wands together. That's working together. That's creating a new solution. Understanding. That's going to naturally embolden the solar plexus healing. naturally let this energy rise. Yeah, so this also came through in a very important way about like my partnership energy, Hierophant. I was asking like in the past, like why I went through a bunch of stuff with like a specific person, like just intense experiences. And what was the point of all of it? Like why? And the answer I got, so it was like a pyramid, like with the cards. It was a pyramid. At the very, very top, right here, was the Hierophant. And it was specifically the Hierophant from my mushroom deck, the turkey tail, where it was literally these two mushrooms with the Hierophant energy above it. And that was that was like what was sitting at the very, very top. It literally echoed that energy. It was such a beautiful energy. And hold on, my cat wants to go out. Hold on. Okay. Very much, it was very much this energy and understanding like the process of getting to the top, of why I went through that, like what the point of that was, the peak of it. In the Hierophant, it was a marriage. That was exactly what it was about. So yeah, and so we have that here. Like that just feels like so important here. Like these two energies working together, these two wands, these two people choosing to do whatever it takes to get here. Like we're going to find our solutions. Like we have all this love, all this passion, but we also have our own like triggers and traumas and atrophies. We're going to choose to step into those things, even if it's painful, but we're going to work together and show up for each other. We're going to make a plan. Goddess work. Maybe even doing like god and goddess work with each other. If you're a straight couple, even if you're gay, like getting into like the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Or even just doing both like goddess and goddess work, you know, like however it works for you. Just embodiment. I really feel like that is important to go look up embodiment work, specifically around goddesses and gods. It just feels very important right here. Or if this is like triggering something else for you, like just, I would look into that. Okay, so now we have Thoth. So let's get into this one. So this came through for me back in like last June-ish. And very much I was getting like these messages around this Babi, the Egyptian god Babi, Babi. And I didn't quite understand why for a while. And then I finally like I decided to go check out the actual like who this god is and like what he's about. He comes out as the Nine of Cups in my Mary L Tarot. And so I got him with the Mott card and Thoth and some other stuff. And so I decided to go look him up to see what his like mythology was about. And it was very much about him, Mott, and Thoth. And I got all three of those. And it was about, and this was like when I was going through like relationship stuff where I was like seeing all this stuff and I was trying to comprehend it. And something had happened the day before where I had made a commitment and like symbolically like, I am here to be with one person for the rest of my life. Like metaphorically, like their phallus is welded to my yoni, like so to speak. Like it was like that kind of energy. I'm gay, so that was definitely more metaphorical for me, but I spoke that. And then it was the next day where I got the message of Babi. I have all this recorded. It's like, it's beautiful. And so I got the message, okay, low power mode. I'm gonna have to go soon. Hold on, let me calm down a little bit. I'm getting excited here. So I got the message the very next day about Babi, however you say that. And I was looking into his story, and it was very much about, he was a monkey, and his whole thing was about pleasure. He was like constantly like having sex. He was constantly in this like just energy, very passionate, very sexual energy, constantly having sex. Well, the Toth energy came in and decided to curse him and say that I'm going to weld your phallus to inside the partner of this last person that you're with. And it was supposed to be a punishment because this god could not stop having sex. It was literally like his existence was almost like pleasure. And so, but the Toth energy, but I didn't take it like that. I took it as like something profound. I was like, oh my God, like just yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was just like, it had just happened where like I not metaphorically, like I had spoken that is exactly like the person that I am. Like I'm here to be committed to someone, like metaphorically, like, you could even say like my divine masculine phallus is forever like welded inside, you know, like that kind of energy. Like that's just who I am. Like that's the level of commitment that I'm here to have with someone and that I am wanting with someone. So for that to come through like that, and we have Toth here, and the Toth energy was in the same reading. It just felt so symbolic. It felt more like a blessing than a curse. But I think like because of how the story came through, it was just profound. And yeah. And we have that sitting here with this energy that represents marriage to me. Two partners working together, hitting the peak. The point of all of that was marriage. Union. This is literally the card of marriage or union. That's how it can come through for people. Celebrations, going to a wedding. So marriage, the point of it all was marriage. And so that's, we have Toth here, bringing these two energies together. Toth. Being a witness. Something forever changed. Something's dead, and something is being reborn. To be a witness, you can never unsee, never unhear, never unfeel something. Whether that's in your body, like however that is. We're talking about pushing through atrophies, through even through trauma, what's caused the atrophies in your life, what caused you to numb yourself, to close up, to immediately freeze when like passion comes in your life, or feel like you need to run when love is here. So death. Something regenerating. We have an acorn, a new seed. And then we have Kirsten Cohen sitting underneath the acorn. Kirsten Cohen, partnership, something being forever transformed. You could even say after that tough situation, when she comes home, and she's with her family. She's forever transformed. The whole situation is forever transformed. There's almost like new requirements, new things going on within the household, showing up in different ways. Yeah, knowing that like even something was like a crutch for someone, like an addiction, to help them through something else, but also knowing how to show up for them and understanding where their weaknesses are, where those atrophies are, why they were leaning on certain things or needing certain things. Yeah, I'm going to try to wrap this up right here. But so we have solar plexus healing. Identity, yeah, working together. And if you see that, they're both sitting there in that solar energy. Both of those energies together in that solar energy, creating a sun. Solar plexus healing, healing the identity within each other, within a partner. This feels like within each other, within like the third. Like, you know, you have you, then you have your person, and like the relationship is like that third entity. It's its own thing, like composite charts. It's its own breathing energy. The solar plexus of the relationship. Yeah, and then we have the Libra sun energy, and that's sitting underneath goddess work and Thoth, which is sitting underneath the Fool card. Libra sun. So once again, we have that solar energy here. The sun of relationships. Libra can represent partnerships, you and another, the intimacy between two people, the connection between two people, the friendship between two people, the mind between two people. Libra, the 7th house. Justice, Mott. What do you want? Maybe just getting even deeper, like more clear with what you're wanting. Or maybe that's just like a revelation. We have all this solar energy right here. Libra sun. Yeah, the sun of the relationship. The solar energy of the relationship. What's revolving around it? The solar system around something, around the relationship, around a partnership. The sun. Libra, two people. The partnership. Yeah. All right, is there any last thing that I need to talk about here? Since this came through in the Aries reading about ancestry, even understanding like how maybe things developed because of someone's ancestry, because of their family, their heritage, their culture, because I'm thinking about even like within like just different cultures around the world, like even just certain things are unacceptable within one culture, but they're acceptable or not even thought twice of within another culture. But that can feel like an atrophy for someone else that's coming into like this culture. That's something that like a partner can help them work through. Like it's okay. Like, that was never not okay. Like, it's okay. Just like helping someone work through things, or just understanding how to work through these things with each other. Being a witness, very much, and listening. Even just like silently listening, like understanding, actually hearing what's being seen, hearing what's not being spoken, witnessing the atrophies, witnessing their embarrassments, witnessing the things that they're stunting, like these things that maybe like frighten them about themselves. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. Hope you found some good alchemy here. Maybe look at the story Babi with Thoth. Maybe that might be interesting. The Egyptian god. Maybe Kirsten Cohen. Look at Kirsten Cohen from the OC. Maybe do some solar plexus healing. Maybe look up some like solar plexus meditations, and maybe even have like a focus of like the solar plexus of a relationship. Maybe that might be a good focus, unless that you just want to do that for yourself. Yeah, it's technically sitting underneath this energy with the I have intimacy issues and write out a plan, which this feels like your wand and their wand joining to create something new, understanding how to heal this and get it out, push through. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here. Yeah, and I wish you guys well, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.